everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far. In today's video I'm diving into a really old product, but it's new to me and I'm very excited about it. This is the Beauty Bay Bright 2.0 palette. The original Bright Beauty Bay palette is one of my all-time favourites. I reach for it all the time, so I'm so excited to have the upgraded version, the 2.0 version. I decided to get the 42 pan because I just think, like, if you're gonna go bright, you want every colour of the rainbow, right? So I got the 42 pan, I treated myself. I actually got this like over a month ago at this point. I got this when it was on offer at the start of June, and I'm filming this like in the middle of July, so I've had this sitting here for a while. I haven't even dared take it out of the box because I knew that if I took it out of the box I would be like swatching and playing with it without having my camera and everything on. So let's just dive into it, shall we? If you are new here, then hello, my name is Millie. I post videos just like this all the time, 3 times a week in fact, on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Friday. I am also diving into the world of shorts, and I actually have a series that I want to talk to you about in regards to this palette. So this is what the palette looks like. I absolutely love the packaging of this, the green with the pink. It's so graphic. I absolutely love it. And then this is what it looks like inside. Like I say, I haven't even looked at this myself. Ooh, okay. I will hold up the original one next to this. First impressions are that this is darker. This feels more jewel toned. It feels more dusky, like it's a slightly more wearable, colourful palette. So this is it close up. If you haven't tried the Beauty Bay eyeshadow formulas before, then just let me tell you, the mattes are absolutely fantastic, so pigmented, they blend out incredibly. The shimmers, again, so pigmented, they're so shimmery, seen from outer space level of like reflection. They're so pretty. One of my all-time favourite formulas. I don't know what I'm going to do today. Let me get the original one and we'll look at them side by side. Okay, so this one with the pink background is the original Bright palette, and this one with the lime green background is the Bright 2.0. So I would say, looking at the two side by side, the original Bright seems to have more oranges and pinks, and the Bright 2.0 seems to have more greens, more purples, more blues. So I do feel like they are quite different. I do feel like they both serve quite a different purpose in my routine. The Bright 2.0 is also very much darker. Like, as soon as I got the Bright one out, I could see that the Bright 2.0 was darker. So it's more, I feel, more like autumnal. This looks a lot more autumnal to me, and the Bright one is more like summery. So obviously it's not like necessarily the time of year for it, being that it's July as I'm filming this, but I am so excited to get into the swatches of this one and so excited to come up with some sort of look. Like I say, I don't know what I'm doing today. Because this is obviously 42 colours, I think I'm going to go off and do the swatches and then come back and talk to you about them, because otherwise I'll just be here for 70 days, won't I? So I will go off, do the swatches on my arms, and then we'll come back and talk about them. So this is the whole palette swatched out, and I feel like the colour story here is so beautiful. You can see the colour story between each line really clearly as well, and I feel like you could definitely go like line by line doing a look just with each one, which is definitely something that I'm interested in doing, perhaps over on my shorts. So if that's something that you want to see, then do let me know. In this row we have all of the oranges and the yellows. We have 5 mattes and 2 shimmers. Then the next row here, this is all matte. So this is the row that you could use for all of your transition tones. deepening something up a little bit, perhaps creating a bit of a matte wing. Then this is the third row down with all of the greens, and in this one we have 3 shimmers and 4 mattes. Then this one heading into the blues, a few slightly purpley blue tones, and starting with a few more like tealy tones, which you know are my jam. Then this is the 5th row here with all of the purples, and then the pinks and the reds going round onto the back of my arm. Not the easiest place to swatch, but these are like screaming Valentine's Day to me. Valentine's Day in July, but Valentine's Day nonetheless. So I feel like with the dress that I'm wearing today, I'm definitely going to go for some more of these like bluey tones, maybe a green or 2, but I'm like looking at the swatches on my arm. What colours am I going to go for? I'm definitely going to start with that 2nd row down with those like neutrally tones. So I will start with a big fluffy brush, as I always do. I will dip into mustard on the top row, which is a mustardy tone, funnily enough, but this one is a matte. And I will just start working this through the crease. I already have my Beauty Bay eye base on, and of course my brows. I use the Catrice brow pencil and of course the e.l.f. Wow Brow and the Beauty Bay eye base that I use every single day. And I do have a little bit of staining on my lids from the look that I did yesterday. I think I put it up as a short yesterday. It was like the green wing. It stained my eyes a little bit, so that's what that is if you can see it. I'm going to stick with this big fluffy brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Swim, which is another matte shade, and I'm going to start like packing this on the outer half of the lid. I have said this before and I'll say it again, literally the only thing that I don't like about these 42 pan palettes is that they are so heavy. I can't hold them. Like if I'm to hold this up, that will make my arm ache within like 30 seconds. I'm not a strong gal anyway, but these are so heavy. I have to like rest it down on my table. Okay, that did take a little bit of blending, but I think I've got that to work now. That was a little bit more difficult than usual, so it's not as bright as I was maybe expecting it to be, and I have lost quite a bit of that mustard shade. I am going to like clean up the outer corner with some of my micellar water. I think I'm going to go in with a slightly smaller brush into this shade here called Island and take this a little bit greener rather than blue. So I'm just going to lay that sort of over the top and a little bit further in than where I was initially use my words, initially laying down that darker blue shade, and I'll blend that in to where I put that mustard, and then I'll probably add some more of that mustard over the top. See, instantly that is blending out so much nicer and keeping its pigment nicer as well. So I have like blended this basically through my eyebrow. This isn't going to be here, any of this, hopefully, so don't worry about that, but that is blending so nicely. That mustard shade like right up to the brows is saving this look. Basically I'm going to go in with a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to dip very lightly into that white matte shade because I feel like it's getting a little bit dark up in there, and I don't want it to end up like that. I don't want this to look too dark, so I'm just adding that white and blending it in. I'm going in now with a really tiny fluffy brush, and I'm going to go into this green above that one that I just used. So I just used this one. I'm going to use this one now called Kale, and just right on the very tip of that brush, and I'm going to keep this more in the crease but on this outer corner, just sort of wiggle it backwards and forwards in there. Then I'll decide what shimmer I want. I think I'm ready for a shimmer after this step. Before I do the shimmer, I feel like I need to clean this up because I can't see if I'm ready for the shimmer yet. So I'm just taking some micellar water on a cotton pad, and I'm just going to clean up that line. See, I already feel better. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, I've just been sat here for 25 minutes adding more colour, blending it out. I feel like that meme where she's like, I love your makeup, who did it? And she's like, thanks, I did it myself. That's what I feel like. I hate it. Just so we're all on the same page. I think I look insane, but the quality of the eyeshadows is fantastic, so I'm going to persevere. I'm going to put a shimmer across the lid and call it a day now. So I think I'm going to go in with this one in the middle here, because this is like a green and a yellow, and I feel like it'll tie in with the like mustard that we put through, and then the green on the outer corner. Honestly, I'm going to do that and then just be done and stop looking at it, because I've been fiddling with this for so long that I feel like I'm going to end up turning my eyelids completely raw. So I've got that on the finger there. I'm going to just tap this across the lid. Watch this just completely rescue it, because shimmers always do. I do feel like that shimmer has saved it, but I still don't love how this has turned out, and I will say that that is purely my skill level and me not being very good at makeup, as opposed to like the makeup not being very good. Honestly, the Beauty Bay eyeshadows are fantastic, the pigment is fantastic, the shimmers are incredible. I'm not very good. I feel like I'm giving myself a heat rash, like worrying about how this is going to turn out, and ultimately it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter, does it? So here's your reminder. Does not matter how your makeup turns out, especially if, like me, you are getting ready at 6:58 in the evening. Like, it just doesn't matter. I'm just playing, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do a wing and do mascara. I found this mascara in the bottom of an old handbag like yesterday, so I'm so excited to try it again. The Revolution 5D Whip Lift, and of course the Profusion Everlasting Waterproof liquid liner. So I will do that, and then I will come back and we can finish off the rest of the face, and I can calm myself down from the heat rash that I'm getting. It's like a panicky heat rash because I just hate how this looks. Silly. Okay, so now I've done the rest of the eyes. I feel like I'm starting to like this eyeshadow look. I feel like it looks acceptable now that I've covered it up basically with liquid liner and mascara. I'm going to just quickly whiz through the rest of the face, because ultimately that's not what you're here for. I'm using the Collection Hydra Serum Foundation. I have this in the shade 5. Then I'm also going in with Collection for the concealer. This is the Lasting Perfection Hydrating Concealer in the shade 4. I'm just going to put a little bit here, a little bit here. For bronzer, I'm going in with the Essence Contouring Palette, obviously just into the bronzery contoury shade, and I feel like I'm going to need quite a bit of this today. Something about that foundation today just doesn't feel quite right. The shade, maybe I've been out in the sun. I don't think I have, but that shade just feels really wrong for me today. Is everything going wrong? Then for blush, I'm going in with the e.l.f. Power Blush Palette. Is this in a shade? Yes, in the shade Light. And I'm going in with this one, the bright pink, because why not? If anything can help me here, it will be my blush. I'm also going to go in with highlight, and this is the BH Los Angeles Sun Flex Powder Highlight. This is in the shade Bel Air, so I'm going to take a little bit of this and just pop it on top of the cheeks. Yeah, see, that saved it, didn't it? Bam. I feel like, here's my problem. In real life, I feel like this looks good. In my mirror here, I feel like, you know, the eyes are nicely balanced with the amount of colour in the cheeks. The highlight is blinding, which obviously just makes everything better. I feel like the eyes look okay, and then I look at the viewfinder and I'm like, I look just like a kid that's got into her mum's makeup. Isn't the vibe that I love. I'm going to take just a little bit of this highlight and put it on the inner corner, because, you know, that can help me as well. And then I will just finish up under the eyes. So back into, my table's an absolute mess now, back into the Bright palette that I've already got eyeliner all over, I've already made a mess of. I will go in, I think, with a really small brush, and I think probably just that mustard shade along the lower lash line. Let's start with that and go from there. So I've really smoked out that mustard shade, and I feel like that's like the same but different, like it's adding a little bit of something, and I think I'm happy. So I'm just going to put a little bit of mascara on the lower lashes, the same one that I put on the top. Then I'm just going to finish off the lips. So I'm going in with the Essence 8 Hour Comfort Matte Lip Liner in 03 Soft Beige. And then, because this is a Beauty Bay look, I'm going to go in with the Beauty Bay Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Fizz. Just a little bit, because otherwise it'll burn my face off. And that is me done. So I actually think, all things considered, I think this look has turned out okay. Considering I wanted to absolutely just unalive myself halfway through that, I think this has turned out okay. So, like I say, I want to do like a series, and I think I want to do this on like shorts, Instagram reels, something like that, where I do a look with this row and then a look with this row, and I can do how many looks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could do 6 completely separate videos just using one row and see what sort of different looks we can do just with the one palette. And I mean, if I manage to do that and if that goes well, then I can do it with the other palettes that I have too. Let me know if that's the sort of thing that you're into, like showing you different ways to use palettes that you may or may not already have, and how you can wear different colours as well, because this isn't necessarily the sort of thing that I would wear on an everyday basis, purely because I've been filming for nearly 2 hours and I can't do that before I head off to work in the morning. But maybe something a little bit more wearable. Let me know if that's something that you would like to see. If you have made it to the very, very end of this video, then thank you so much for being here. Thank you for sticking with me. This wasn't the easiest to film, but I really, really appreciate you supporting my channel and being here to the very, very end. If you are here, please give this video a big thumbs up or a big thumbs down, depending on if you like it or if you have found this completely tedious. Either way, it helps boost my video into the algorithm, and it will help more people see the absolute car crash that was this video. But until next time, thank you, truly, thank you ever so much for watching. Bye.